Hello and welcome back to Future You, the podcast brought to you by graduate careers experts Prospects. I'm your host, Emily Slade, and in this episode we chat about the MSc Finance and Investment Management available at the University of Liverpool.
Hi Emily, I'm Rob Stevens. I'm the Director of Studies for the Finance and Investment Management programme that's online at the University of Liverpool. And I also teach on campus and chair the online Board of Examiners.
Perfect. So we're here today to talk about the MSc Finance and Investment Management. Can you tell me a little bit about the programme?
Yeah, it's really exciting. The MSc is made up of 8 15-credit modules. There's a short break between each one and they run consecutively. The students then finish off with a dissertation. And it was launched in 2022, and we've actually got our first graduates who will be attending Liverpool for graduation in July of this year.
Oh.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah, it's been a long journey up to this point.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. So how does your background help you understand how to design a successful program?
I don't know if I've got a conventional or an unconventional background. I did a straight accounts degree. And then I went into work for Barclays and I did a graduate development program and I was there for 3 or 4 years. And then I went straight into teaching and I worked for in private colleges for 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I feel old now. And then I moved the jump from colleges into the university. And when you're in private colleges, you tend to teach towards exams. So it's very much exam-based training.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in a university, you're trying to encourage students at this level to research and to uncover information for themselves also. So I think with all of that background, what it's helped me do is design a program which is seeking academic excellence like any other Russell Group university would, but at the same time provide a program that allows students to develop and undertake real-life work tasks. I think my private college experience has also allowed me to build in formative tasks in advance of each of the summative or real assessments that the students have.
Yeah, absolutely. So is that really why you made the switch from college to university, because of that more open learning environment?
Well, I think I made that change. It was I think it was a nice change of direction because after 20 years, I think you've seen pretty much everything in private sector.
Yeah.
So it was quite nice really to go into something totally different and realize probably how much you still had to learn about education.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, you're doing something totally different. And while the skills are not redundant, certainly you're learning far more skills in university education that you probably never thought about before.
Yeah, no, that makes complete sense. Brilliant. So what distinguishes this program from other finance programs offered by competitor universities?
I think people would be surprised that not all courses offer what we call synchronous sessions. So some programs are what I would call a self-serving program. So you sign up, you get the information provided to you each week, and then you work your way through it. What we have are structured live sessions or synchronous sessions, as we call them, where the student is directly engaging with their peers, but also their lecturers.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that makes it far more of a community feel than maybe some other programs that students could enroll on. It's CFA affiliated, which means that the CFA or Chartered Financial Analyst body, they've looked at the program and they've approved it in terms of the content that we teach. So the CFA is a finance professional body which writes its own syllabus, which it calls the body of knowledge. And that body of knowledge is checked against the syllabus for our modules. So that makes it very relevant, I guess. I think we've also got really good methods of assessment. So I think I mentioned earlier about having a program whereby it made students far more real and relevant. So our assessments include real-life tasks such as assessing projects financially and non-financially, writing analyst reports as they might do in the real world. They might interpret data, whether that's share data or portfolio data. They might work on group presentations, whereas, again, a task where you're just working solely in every single assessment that you do might provide limited insight into what you're asked to do in the real world. Okay, and obviously we've got our conventional lectures that we provide also, and readings, and we have expert authors also that have written the material from the University of Liverpool. So I think it's great, and we always wanted to make it better, but the content that we have in that particular program is so thoroughly thought through, and we're always looking for ways to, again, improve it further if we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Is the CFA something that updates itself quite regularly, in which case that this course will remain at the cutting edge of all of the information from the real world?
Absolutely. And I think also it's almost a help to us as well, because while we're academics and we're constantly looking outside and researching for new developments, the CFA also provides us with a stick in the ground, if you like, of the current relevant factors that are affecting the finance industry. And by ensuring that we're always complying with that, we're always ensuring that we're relevant, which is really important.
Yeah, brilliant. So who is this program aimed at?
I think we're quite surprised, really, with the different angles that students have come in onto the program from. Master's programs are normally for those people who've done an undergraduate program. They've then gone into the workplace and built up their professional knowledge, and then they've decided to invest in themselves further and get the master's degree. But what we sometimes see are people who've got just done their undergrad, and they feel that they need to build up their professional CV, if you like, so they immediately go into the master's program. Some of those students then go on to PhDs, so there's an academic route, I guess, through our program. You've also got people who've got CFA and who feel that they've been taught to exams and they want more of a wider scope in their research and their knowledge, and that helps them. And of course, we've also got those people who work in industry who do some finance or some have jobs which have some financial requirement or expertise, but they feel that they lack that wider outlook, they lack that insight, and they feel really that the program can fill in lots of their gaps and help them progress in their career. What's interesting as well, Emily, which I think is worth noting, is students who join our program don't just join and sign up to a master's program. If people wanted to dip their toe into the program, they can enroll straight onto a certificate, which would be 4 15-credit modules, or they can do a diploma, which is 8 15-credit modules. And obviously, if they complete that dissertation, then they're doing their master's. So that's really useful for some people.
Yeah, fantastic. So lots of options there. That's brilliant. Once you've completed the course, what careers might students pursue?
Again, I think the list of careers is probably endless. What I would advise students do, professional bodies such as the CFA have a website, and on that website they will list lots of current vacancies in the finance field, it's useful, I guess, to get a current picture of what's out there. But if we think about the modules that we teach corporate finance, we talk about equity, fixed income, derivatives, so lots of terms which might not mean much to some readers. What it's doing, it's providing a footing for students to go into roles as analysts, where they might analyze market data, stock data. They might go into manage portfolios for businesses. They could work for government. Many governments employ researchers who need finance backgrounds. You could work for large corporates, maybe work in treasury or merger and acquisitions, or risk management, using your derivative knowledge, for example. I think it's just endless. But as I said before, some people might want to stay in academia. They do their master's, they then move on to a PhD, and they might have a future career as a lecturer.
Yeah, fantastic. Given your experiences, what are the challenges that you have to address in the delivery of the program? And what do students need to be prepared for?
Well, I think the biggest challenge by far is the workload. And I think some people feel that an online degree is much easier than an on-campus degree, which is what they would have been used to at undergrad. in reality, I would say an online degree in many ways is tougher. Students, just as I would have done, are working at the same time as they're studying. And for every credit of any module, that equates to 10 hours of work.
Wow.
So a 15 credit module over 8 weeks is actually expected to take 150 hours.
Yeah.
Which means students should be doing maybe somewhere between 15 and 20 hours of work a week. And I think it's that buy-in right at the outset that's the toughest. Students need to know that this isn't a free degree, it isn't an underrated degree. It carries exactly the same weighting as any other degree that is awarded on that stage at graduation for master's students. So I think as long as students see that that's the commitment, they will do really well. And I guess the other challenge that we have is finding the right mix that works for people. Different people study in different ways. Some people like to do practice in order to learn. Some people love to read independently. Some people will want to watch lectures. So we provide lectures every week, but the lecture will never, ever cover all the material that student will need. So they need to make sure that they can take some of the basics from the lecture, be prepared then to carry out their own independent research, and then back that up with exercises that we're providing on the course. So I think students need to be quite dynamic and they need to be quite adaptable to maximize their learning. And the last thing that I haven't mentioned is, of course, time zones. Our students are from all around the world. So when we're running synchronous sessions, for example, we're always thinking about where that student is in the world and how they can get the best experience by working with the best group that give them a convenient time to study, and also to be able to make this course manageable for them. But we do our best with that, and we have a lot of success in ensuring that, students leave the programs totally satisfied.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. What to you is the most exciting aspect of the course?
I think the most exciting aspect for me is what you come out with. Because many students, as I've said, they're coming in from very different backgrounds, and they really are leaving the program with a Russell Group University degree, but they're also leaving with all of these work skills, these relevant skills that they can take out into industry and market themselves and make good careers for themselves. And that's something that's fantastic. I think sometimes at undergraduate degree, you've got those building blocks, but we really take those students on that journey on the master's program.
Yeah, brilliant. If students want to, or potential students want to find out more about the course, where can they go?
Well, they can go to the website. What we've got is a team of people that are dedicated to answering academic and non-academic questions. And I would strongly recommend that rather than just fill in an application form and apply for a course anywhere, that they talk to people. The support is there, and they can find out every single element of what's going to be required of them over their journey to complete that master's.
Fantastic. Well, was there anything else that you wanted to mention at all?
No, I just think students would be in for a real rewarding experience by taking on the master's program. And the most important thing, like anything else, is to enjoy it and use the lecturers that are there to really make your experience as special as it can be.
Yeah.
And they're there permanently over each of those 8-week blocks.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for your time today.
No, thank you, Emily. It's been really enjoyable.
Thanks again to Rob for their time. For more information on how to apply for the course, check out the show notes below. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. Thank you, as always, for listening, and good luck on your journey to future you.